Mommy, if you're watching this video, stop watching it. Go to the next video. I don't want you watching this video. I am going to be installing, I feel like I always install these, but these will look best on me. So these are always the wigs that I choose. I think that everybody should have one of these. It is a V part. V parts are the best. Don't get U parts no more. Only get V parts. V part curly wig. All the links to this wig will be in my description box. Now, let's get into the story. Okay, so technically, my first lesbian experiences were in high school when I would make out with girls. But this story is going to be about my first sexual lesbian experience. Okay? So, my first lesbian experience was actually, it wasn't like at my college. When I say I was in college, I just mean like that's the age I was. I was like college age. And this is around the time where I was starting to kind of realize that I wanted to kind of drop out of college. I didn't really like being in school. So, but I was, at that point, I was in school, but I had a job. And there was a girl that had just started working at my job. We're going to name her Roxanne. There was a girl that had just started working at my job, and I thought that she was really cute. And it was beyond like, just like, oh, you're kind of really cute. Like, I low-key was like obsessed with her.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
Not like stalkerish obsessed, but that is like how like attracted I was to her instantly. And it was weird to me because I was attracted to girls, but I had never had a girl make me feel like that before. Like from me just first seeing her. She was a stud. That was the first time I was ever attracted to a stud. All the girls that I used to like have a thing with in high school were like femmes. She was the first stud that I was actually attracted to. So we would flirt at work all the time. I'm not gonna go like have a long story about like the flirting back and forth thing, because that's not what the story is about. The story is just about like my first like sexual like lesbian experience. So I'm gonna kind of fast forward into that. But yeah, we would flirt back and forth at work. And I wasn't kind of sure if she was picking up on the vibe that I liked her or not. Yeah, we were flirting, but I didn't know if she thought that she was just flirting with like a straight girl, because straight girls be flirting. Straight girls flirt with me. Like, girls love saying they strictly dickly, but straight girls flirt with me all the time, so I can only imagine like what they do with studs. So I did whatever I could to kind of like go beyond the whole like, oh, you're just flirting with like a straight girl type thing, because at that point I don't think I had ever had a girlfriend before. So I was like a lesbian virgin. But I did like everything I could to like get her to realize like, no girl, like I'm gay, and I want you to try to talk to me. I didn't want to make the first move. So she eventually asked for my number. We started talking, texting, and then I don't remember how we started like going to each other's house. Well, I was going to her house because I was living with my parents. And my parents was not with that gay shit at the time, so she was never at my house. But I was always at her house, and I was spending out over her house all the time, and we would always just make out. Never went any further than that. She always made it clear that like she didn't want to be like my first lesbian sexual experience, because it can be very emotional, and she just didn't want to be like the first. I didn't understand that. I understand that now, because after that I went crazy over her. Whole nother story that we're not going to get into. But yeah. And now, I mean, I'm in a relationship, so I wouldn't anyway. But now, even if I was single, I would never want to be a lesbian's like first experience. Never. I get exactly what she was saying now, but whatever. So I would go over her house and we would just make out, and it wasn't enough for me. I wanted to do more, but she would never, ever, ever, ever do more with me. So one day I spent the night over her house, and we would cuddle all the time. We would cuddle, kiss, everything except for, have relations. So one night I spent the night over her house, and we both called out of work the next day. I don't know what it was. I just know that we both just was like, I don't want to go to work today. We both were supposed to go to work today, and we both called out that day. It was like we were supposed to be to work at like 6 a.m. We both ended up calling out. So after we called out of work, we had like a very heavy makeout session. I don't know what made this makeout session different from like all the other makeout sessions, but this one was a little bit more intense. And I guess I was always feeling the moment. So I'm not going to say I guess I was feeling the moment, because I always was down and ready to do whatever. But that day she was too. She was like, okay, let's go. And I remember specifically, she took a pillow and she threw the pillow at me because she had a roommate. And she didn't want me to be like loud. So mommy, if you're watching this video, stop watching it. Go to the next video. I don't want you watching this video. She gave me the pillow and she did her thing, and I saw stars, and all of a sudden I couldn't live without her anymore, and God was real. Just everything under the sun that you would think somebody would think when they feel like they're having the best sex of their life is exactly like what happened. And then the feeling that I had during this whole sexual experience, not like back then I was equating it to love, but now I just know it was because I had been with so many guys. Well, that's not like I'm a hoe. I didn't mean it that way. I'm saying it in a way of like, I had sexual relationships with guys before, and it never made me feel the way that she made me feel. But it wasn't because I loved her. It was because I was gay, and I finally like let myself be gay, if that makes sense. And mind y'all, I didn't even get no head during that session. This was just finger work. I discovered head later on from somebody else, and that just sealed the deal for me. So yeah, after that, I wanted to have sex every day. I wanted to have sex 5 times a day, every single day with her. She was being stingy, I guess because she realized that I was falling in love and I was threatening to kill people that would even look in her direction. But I didn't care. I mean, like, I love you and we go together. Because why would you do that to me? You knew that you were going to bed, and you knew that you were going to be my first experience, and you decided to give me some anyway. That's not my fault. Whose fault is that? Not mine. But anyway, after that, we continued like on and off talking. I feel like when the relationship got a little bit like too intense, she kind of would like kind of cut me off. And then it's so funny to like think back of how I was over her. Like, I would never be like that over anybody ever again. But it was my first like girl on girl experience. So like, I just was like gone in the head. And it's so crazy because after her, every girl that I dealt with after that, I think I got like, that situation kind of made me have a reality check with myself for how like I was acting over her. And like every girl, I don't know if I was embarrassed or if I just like got it out because she was the first one. But every girl after that has always complained that I am like very nonchalant in a relationship. Like, they don't think that I care. And I think it's so crazy because with her, I was caring too much. And like I said, I don't think it was because of her per se. I think it was just because it was my first experience, and I had never been able to feel so strongly about a man, and I was pushing it all on her, and I probably pushed her away, but I mean, everything happened for a reason. I probably wouldn't have ended up with Amy. But like I said, at the same time, it was like, after that, I got it out, and then after that, I became the person who I wanted to be. And every girl after that just was like, you don't care. You don't care. We're arguing and you don't care. I'm leaving and you don't care. And you don't care. You don't care. You don't care. But it's not that I didn't care. It's just that I cared too much previously. I don't have no more to give. Like, I feel like I just got off subject. But yeah, that was my first experience. And then I went crazy. And then she stopped talking to me. And then I moved on to the next girl. She moved on to the next girl. We went our separate ways. I was devastated. It did take me a few months to get over her. And then I got a rebound girlfriend. And then I broke that girl's heart. To this day, I feel the rebound girlfriend I got, I feel bad because that girl really, really loved me, and I did not love her. I was with that girl. The girl after her, I was with her for like a year. And that girl was so in love with me, and I just did not love her at all. Like, barely even liked her. It was like, really, it was a rebound thing that went too far. Like, she was supposed to be something that was fun. And then I got a little bit too deep into it with the rebound girl. And by the time that I really wanted to get out of it, she was so in love with me. And I remember one time I asked her, I know this is like off subject, but I remember one time I had asked her, I was like, if I left you, would you hurt yourself? And she was like, I don't think so. And I was like, nah, I really can't leave her. Because if somebody was to ask me, like, if I stopped talking to you, would you hurt yourself? I would be like, the fuck? No, I wouldn't fucking hurt myself. Like, I would be sad, but I ain't gonna hurt myself over you. The fact that she was just like, oh, I don't think so, made me be like, okay, let me not do her like the last girl did me. But in the long run, I probably made it worse because I stayed with her for a whole year, and I knew I did not love her for that full year. I was just fucked up after that girl, huh? I was fucked up, and I was taking it out on other people. Damn. I'm sorry. If you're an ex and you're watching this, I know I was a shitty person. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I can share about my first lesbian experience without being demonetized. Like, if I really wanted to get into like the nitty gritty of what happened in the bedroom, I would not have a YouTube channel anymore. They would put a strike on my channel. So it was a PG-13 story. I'm sorry if you wanted a rated X story. This is not Zane's Chronicles. But I do appreciate you for watching this video. All the links to this here will be in my description. And I will see you in my next video.